the lineups. New faces.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is Danny Hafen once again, also known as Toolkire, the Leona support main. I am doing my own analysis of the games here at MSI. I am watching them live, as you can see, and muted. So I am going to do my best attempt to explain why things are happening, and predict what is going to happen next, and how teams are going to win. I have no noise going, so this is all from my own head as best I can do. Things I say or opinions I have do not reflect the opinions of Riot Games or their broadcasting teams. This is just me doing this for the desire to improve and prove myself as someone who understands the game. So Gambit Esports and Ascension Gaming's both have played one game already this morning. Gambit's won, Ascension lost, and both of them went with the Zion Rakan. We've already seen Rakan first picked and taken right off the bat by Gambit Esports. The bans, none of them are too shocking. The Skarner, that's the first Skarner ban, first Skarner presence so far this tournament. The Gangplank ban makes complete sense because PvP Stejos totally dominated last game with it. Now, I'm surprised they took Caitlyn here. I am shocked because Lord shows he can play Xayah, and he should not let Gambit Esports get the Xayah Rakan combo. I do like them taking Trundle though. Trundle has won both games so far this tournament. He is a very strong jungler. He counters the Olaf, and he wrecks tanks. Ooh, I forgot to see that Kaisa was unbanned. Oh my word, Kaisa is unbanned. Kaisa had 100% presence in the LPL finals and almost 100% presence in the EU Masters up until this point. But both of those were on 8.6. On 8.8, she's actually stronger than she was on 8.6 and dominated solo queue for anybody who has played and experienced that in the last few weeks. So, support Morgana, yeah, that's probably the smartest thing right now because you need to stop the CC from hitting on your Caitlyn. What Ascension is banking on right now is as much early game power as they can. They want to get a lead and snowball with it, with the Caitlyn and the Morgana. Now, looking at the bans, the Anivia ban is something you want to do if you want a strong tank like Sion in your top, because Anivia's wall stops that, and since you already have the Trundle, they can't use the Trundle Pillar to stop your ultimate, so that might be a pick we see coming up for Rocky. Kira just has every champion in his pool, and I like getting rid of Vladimir as a strong late game carry, because if you are trying to win the early game and push as hard and fast as you can, which I believe Ascension is trying to do, you don't want them to have something that they can stall out for those team fights. The LeBlanc ban, I respect that. LeBlanc has been reverted and will probably show her strength sometime in this tournament, sooner or later. Now, Swain is not as strong as he was on the 8.6 patch, but in the tournaments in 8.6, he proved himself very effective, and I don't know. I think they should have went Galio, though. They didn't ban Galio, they didn't take Galio, they saw Kira take Galio last game, and Galio is a champion who can ruin attempts to push one lane tower, push the next lane tower, push the next lane. It really stops. Hey, okay, kids, Daddy's working. Can you guys be quiet while you listen to your show? Angela, Michael, did you tell me you were going to be quiet or no? Alright, so Kira instead took Azir, another strong late game champion, but not as much effectiveness anymore. Okay. Go take your Nintendo Switch and go play in your room. Angela, you have not dealt with your problems in the proper way this morning. You didn't ask Daddy nicely to fix it. You didn't do anything but whine. And Daddy asked you twice to be quieter. Okay, now you can go back to bed without the Nintendo Switch. Come out in 10 minutes and ask again. You're in timeout. Michael, go back to your room. You're in timeout. You may come back in 10 minutes and ask again. I am sorry about that. Some of my friends and acquaintances in League have asked why I just play Leona. A small part of it is because I'm a father, and while I'm playing League, I have to deal with things of family life. Changing diapers. I've been playing League the entire time my kids have been in diapers. And when there's a stinky diaper, you gotta change it. And so there's times where I have a 30-second death timer and I just go do that. And my wife has been working late the last few nights, and so she is not available to help me do these recordings. And my kids are at the difficult stages of where they want to yell to get what they want instead of act nicely. And so that is why they're in timeout. So, Maokai top lane is what Rocky ended up going for. Technically, Maokai Bramble Smash and Trundle Pillar can stop the Zac engage. You have to be in the right position, you have to do it exactly right time. So they might have some potential for strength there. There is plenty of synergy of Maokai with Swain to get his pullback, and with the Caitlyn traps and the Morgana bindings, if somebody gets CC'd, they will be CC'd for forever, unless they're Kira, who is running Cleanse on his Azir. When you have Cleanse, it removes the hard CC, anything but a suppression, and it gives you a tenacity bonus for like the next 3 to 6 seconds, I can't remember which makes it so that's the person you don't want to try to catch. You'd much rather catch the short-range Kaisa or catch the Rakan. So one of the things I was thinking about with the Rakan, where Rich had difficulty was, he'd go to engage and he'd get counter-stunned. And I have seen a lot of Rakans run Unsealed Spellbook so they can switch to Cleanse in the mid-game and late game, so they don't get stopped in their attempt to engage. So I hope to see that later on in the tournament, that adaptation, but we might not from these teams. So already Caitlyn and his Morgana have a CS lead and a push lead, but that's expected, and if they aren't getting it, then why did they take that lane? There was no early game shenanigans that went on. Hopefully there will be less of those being successful, or at least I don't want to see any of the same ones already used be successful again. I want people to be ready for those and depend on teams to do. I'm just setting this up for my kids. This is what happens when you try to do stuff live and you have multiple parts of life. Angela, Michael, come here, please. Children? Angela, I asked you to come here, please. Michael, go tell your sister to come. So, I'm sorry. People ask why I just played Leona. It's because I'm a parent, and I've played Leona so much and I'm so comfortable with her, I can be interrupted and come straight back to the game and know what I'm doing as Leona. And it's hard to learn other champs sometimes because I get interrupted a lot. And so I'm dealing with that in a new thing of trying to be an analyst for a game. Alright, Zach's here, so I think he's going to be perfectly safe, and they actually are going to get the first blood kill there. Very well done, Diamond Prox, for reading where they were going and taking advantage of Intreso's desire for a gank. Angela, please come out here now. So in all honesty, I would have much preferred to see Ascension focus their strength in bot lane and get that tower earlier and get the damage there than trying to snowball a tank v tank lane. Because to me, once again, the endgame team comp is much stronger on Gambit Gaming, and Ascension has limited options in the late game to win. The only hard engage Ascension has is a flash snare from Maokai, or a lucky pick on a target that does not have Quicksilver Sash or Cleanse in the late game, which will be tanks, which, well, that's not going to be the best pick, or the Rakan, who, I mean, it's better than nothing. So, any of the keystones of interest? Kira has decided to go summon Ari instead of Comet, like the last Azir did. Stronger early, weaker late, and the Swain has once again gone phase rush, which is understandable. So, Caitlyn and Morgana have gotten themselves deep vision, looking for the Drake priority and for any gates coming from the long distance Zac jumps. Trundle is on his second rotation at his red buff. Maybe he'll come down here in time for a level 6 gank, make a big play happen. I hope so, because if they don't have first turret down by the 12-minute mark, Ascension has failed their team comp setup. And he ganks top again. Why? I mean, this might be just my bias of being a support player down bottom, and I get upset when my junglers don't come and help me in my AD carry out. But how we've already seen this tournament happen in the first 2 games, it's been playing around bot lane, and they once again chose tanks in the top lane. If you're going to choose tanks in the top lane, you shouldn't change up the strategy and all of a sudden try to snowball top lane. So Swain once again will want to definitely build, without a doubt, Abyssal Mask, because Kaisa also has a lot of damage. They're hitting level 6 first. So if they can kill the Azir, they might be able to win this fight as it goes later. Trundle's red buff with the CC. Okay, well, it was a 1-for-2 trade, and it was 8 summoners for 8 summoners trade, so not the worst thing in the world. I've seen worse. Angela, can you tell me sorry for yelling and screaming and throwing a fit? Okay, I can send you back to your room, or you can talk to me as a human being. Angela, please talk to me.
Sorry.
For?
Michael, stop.
He's trying to give it to him. He doesn't understand. Angela, look at me and tell me what you're sorry for.
Sorry for yelling and screaming.
Okay. Do we yell and scream at our brother?
No.
Do we yell and scream at mommy and daddy?
No.
I love you. You can watch an episode and then you need to get dressed for school, alright? Is that okay? And once you're dressed for school, you can watch more. Angela, did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So,
Can you push?
both the Orin and the Maokai seem to be rushing Abyssal Mass themselves as well, which is just a good strong item for a tank, and it amplifies the damage of their carries. But lo and behold, what happens? Diamond procs ganks bot and does it successfully. Now the Caitlyn and Morgana, who are supposed to have the lane priority, get the first tower, do the damage, are behind in CS, behind in priority, behind in experience, and we're just going to get to this place where Kaisa is already hitting her tank shredding potential, and Caitlyn is in her power trough. There's the banner of command finished from the Orin. And so you see Trundle building a dagger and a longsword. Trundle has realized that because Orin has rushed the banner of command, and Caitlyn cannot go and respond to the banner of command, and Rocky didn't take any minion dematerializers, he has to have some physical damage to go and clear those with him, or it will just take towers by itself, and there is nothing that the Maokai can do about it. Now, Orin, on the other side, PvpSASC and Gambit Gaming. They've been playing very well, have a little bit more cohesion and thought process in their picks and bans so far. Has minion dematerialize. Or when Maokai finishes his banner command, he just will dematerialize the first 3 and take away the power of that item for a good 10 minutes once it's completed. So, right now, there don't seem to be very many wards by either team. I see 2 from Ascension and 3 from Gambit Gaming. And it looks like they're settling into... look at this. Rakan's going top. I think he might be expecting the Caitlyn and Morgana to do the lane swap to try to get a first tower. And if not, he's going to do it to get the first tower himself. Alright. So, summoners are all back up for every player. We have a 3v1 bot lane, but if you can flash away from the binding, oh no, there we go. We got teleport down from the Orin, beautiful Orin ultimate, but the Maokai ultimate stopped the Rakan engage, and summoners are spent. And this first banner minion is put in the lane that has the physical damage dealer, so it's not going to get much damage, and it's past the 12-minute mark. Caitlyn and Morgana have not got the first tower. They have not played their lane to the way wanted to. Michael, Daddy's working, so he'd like you to be a little bit more quiet, okay? Here comes the Rakan. You can only Black Shield one person, not both, and Rakan's ultimate is a very large area effect spell because he gets to run wherever he wants to go. But that is very interesting. I'm not quite sure how they turned that around. I think Kaisa mispositioned, and here they are. First turret. Good job. And Orin got a decent amount of damage in the mid, but it's not going to make the difference in the end of the day.
Michael, can you please just cross your legs like that? You're squishing me. And the other doesn't make sense.
So, power spikes that have been hit. The Abyssal Mass for the Swain, the Nashor's Juice for the Azir, the Gunson's Rageberry for Kaisa. Can't not remember the name of that item Morgana has, but basically the old teamfight move speed item. I'll have to look that up. I was not as prepared for this as I had hoped to be for these attempts to analyze games, and I feel like instead of saying what's going to happen before it happens, I'm just saying what's happening as it happens. But I am explaining at least a bit of the thought process between the teams. There we go. Swain got a beautiful CC, a solo target CC on the Kaisa and pulled her back. So, Dragons coming up, and Mountain Drake will help them take more turrets, will help them maybe force early Baron, and so they're committing to this pretty hard. Kaisa is top, so they know they have priority and will just take it for themselves. Rakan, though, is helping Diamond Prox kill the Rift Herald. So that trade goes there. Both Morgana and Rakan have finished their Sightstone quest. They did that actually quite a while ago. But that is something that people forget at times if you fall behind in lane in a smash. If you can't be in lane, you can't get the gold, and you can't get the wards to stop them from invading your jungle. I've had games where I haven't completed my quest till 18 minutes in, 17 minutes in. And it hurts. It really hurts as a support to not be able to do your job. But both these supports have gotten wards, and they are getting them placed and trying to keep control of their respective jungles, though Gambit Gaming is doing their best to declare that Ascension's jungle is theirs, but they haven't staked their flag yet. So, what I suspect to see next is, they just did the Rift Herald in mid lane, and they will get a full health charge on the next tower. And they actually have more people here, and with the Azir turret, they're just going to let it die and back off and reset the map. I suspect Caitlyn and Morgana to try to get the top tower. I suspect Swain to try to hold against the Azir, but Kira is outplaying G4. So, for me, Gambit Gaming, their win condition, what they should be doing is just inch forward, slow and steady. They've already won one game. They don't need to worry too much about falling too far behind the pack. They have the superior late game scaling, and they can just keep whittling away and taking little by little. Ascension, they lost their game prior to this. They lost it even though they had some beautiful comeback fights where they thought they were going to take it. And what are they losing to again? Azir again. So they have the mental strain and difficulty of that to deal with right now. They have the mental strain and difficulty of being one game behind the pack already. And they have the difficulty of knowing that their early game plan of Morgana Caitlyn was foiled. So this is, if they do pull off the right defense and play it correctly, will be a great testament of their mental fortitude. But it's going to be hard. So, a good bait by Ascension, a good play by Gambit, and rebait by them. I think the problem right now is our Kaisa, AD carry friend, Lodik. He hasn't got to play enough Kaisa because it gets banned too much or something. Because he's playing like he is end game life sustainability already when he's not there yet and doesn't have those items yet. So he continues to get burst. So the Kaisa is running Hurricane. Now some people thought, why would you do that at first? Now, on 8.9, don't run Hurricane on Kaisa anymore. But before the 8.9 patch, the Hurricane Bolts procced her passive to allow it to stack up faster. And so it makes her incredibly strong in team fights and tank shredding because you could hit everybody with that as she's dancing around. But after this tournament, we won't see it as much. We'll see a change in build order, I believe. But for now, it is good and it is right. So, Orin still has 2 of his minion dematerialize yet left. And those will maybe be held onto by Orin until much later, just in case Ascension gets a Lucky Baron still or something.
Where's he going?
But
they're going back in time to about
Trundle is still nowhere near the physical damage needed to quickly deal with a bannered minion. He's building towards Trinity Force. Not done yet. Not even done with the Sheen proc part yet. So those banner minions will just wreck Ascension if they don't do something soon, because the only person who can properly deal with it is Caitlyn. So they're trying to get a pick here. Good Maokai ult. Let's see. Death timer's 34 seconds. I think they go for it, yep. Desperation play. Mental fortitude. Can they do this? The Azir is on his way. The Zac pulled the tank out of the pit so he couldn't tank anymore. That made life really hard. I really wish they wouldn't have gone that way. I think that's PvPsASC's first death of the game. It is. Oh, you try with 2 twice, both times fell. You try with 3 twice, both times fell. Finally, you have 4 to start with and then 3 to finish the chase. You get your first kill on Orin. PvPsASC is destroying people in this. He is outthinking people in this, and I hope to see great things from him. So, vision control. Pink in and out of the Baron Pit by Gambit Gaming, where Ascension has 2 wards that will expire in about a minute on the other side of the river, but that's it. Orin still has his banner minion to place. I think it's possible he's running Ingenious Hunter, but I can't tell from the icons if he is or not. Nah, he's running a different tree. So G4 has gone bot because he has the teleport. There is no teleport on Gambit Gaming right now. So with showing these 2 bot lane, I don't think they have the damage to kill that Swain. But I don't think Swain has the damage to kill the Orin. So you know those wet noodle fights we always talk about in top lane? That was a much more interesting version of that. Get 3 people and you're not going to kill them. People are getting a little sloppy. I'm confused. They showed and committed 3 people to that. They committed their redemption to that, and their locket to that. Why Ascension didn't try to commit to the Baron. And if Kira or them showed up, all in them. Use your flash aggressively. Make it happen. But it's in the past. It can't be changed. We might hope for and see something different in later games. But now we need to continue on this game. What will we see? Oh, I gotta finish uploading the other. Just a second. And published. So that was game 2 published just there. And oh, hey, look. They aggressed on the Azir and got him. Hopefully we get to see a replay of that. I am sorry. That is what I get for doing stuff live and having a somewhat poor setup since it's my first time doing this. So Kaisa is not getting touched at all until finally something hit her. Are they going to do this? Man, that is an impressive team fight. Ascension knows how to scrap. I think it was the Swain ultimate exploded outward and hit Kaisa for 65% of her life. And that's what caused the change. And Lloyd was able to slowly just whittle down the other tanks in her way, probably due to the help of Trundle's ultimate on the key targets. And depending on what Morgana is running, I like in a resolve secondary tree for a shielder like Morgana to run Font of Life. And so any slows or CC you put on enemy marks them for, and you get a life back on hitting them. So I think that's how Caitlyn's getting life back this fight, even though she gets so low. So yeah, look, full health on the Lloyd, and then all of a sudden dead. So
Michael, they're really squishing me.
they're trying to catch Kira again. Oh. Such a close redemption kill. Alright, so PvP Stehos is teleporting in. He knows he has to because it's a 5v3 if he's not, because Kira is so far behind. Lloyd is just free firing from the back line. Oh, there goes Kira. Going to get it? Nope. And Ascension is winning the fights. Ascension is doing it right. Kira gets caught out twice in a row, and they lose all their momentum. Okay, they have 2 tanks. They have their jungler, who the other team does not know is lacking smite, but he will have it here soon. Their Swain does not have a TP to get in here quickly. They're just trying to bait it a bit. And, oh, here they go. They started. There's that Trundle pillar. Trundle is just dominating this tournament, in my opinion. He nullifies any tanks, and his pillar is just up over and over and over again. I said it last game, I'll say it this game. I expect it to be perma-banned or perma-picked in this tournament. or at least in the play-in stages. Maybe with some of the other regions, they'll have practiced their things like Nidalee, or the Gragas has been buffed, and he is always a potentious team fighter with his barrel, so maybe we'll see him show up to help deal with these. So yeah, just superior numbers, and forcing the fights to happen because you're at the Baron Pit. And Gambit Gaming has not been as Oh. Yeah, that's why Kaisa has been permabanned in solo queue for 2 patches in a row, basically. It's because she can do something like that when she's got to her evolves. She gets her item evolves, her skills get evolved once she gets 100% attack speed, 100 attack, and 100 AP. And most people don't get the AP effect, but Kaisa has already hit 2 evolutions with the current items, and with the Death Dance, hard to burst, and you get full life off her void missiles. I'm so sad for Ascension. This is heartbreaking because they had that fight to tell Kaisa did Kaisa things, and this is what it was like in the game before this. They found that late 35-minute fight. They found a second late 30-minute fight, and they were winning from those 30-minute fights, and then something goes wrong and they can't finish the comeback, and that's just heartbreaking. If they lose this game, Ascension, I will say right now, no matter what, Ascension will lose the 3rd game of the day. And I'm sad to say that. I don't want to make that judgment, but I don't think they have the international experience and mental fortitude to recover after 2 disappointing losses like this on the first day, and know that with 2 losses, because it's a round robin best of, and there's only 6 games, to proceed into the next game when you're there is not in your power anymore. You must have other teams lose to their opponents. You can't secure it just by winning all of them by yourself. You also have to have the people you lost to lose a few themselves as well. So that's where they're at. And now we have the Baron Bannard minion, who only Caitlyn can hurt and can't get close to because of the team fighting of Gambit Gaming at this point. And Kaisa doing Kaisa things. For those of you who don't play League of Legends or don't do solo queue so much and don't understand, she just gets too many dashes, too fast and invisible, and me and you can see her as we're watching and spectating, but the enemies, her enemies can't, and you can't lock her down and do enough damage to her because she's jumping around too fast. She has the Death Stance, 30% damage she takes turns into a bleed, so you can't burst her, and then tons of her damage comes back as lifesteal. And it's all physical damage, it's the lifesteal. Well, thank you, and I will continue doing this. Take